Joining me now is Tech Mahindra CEO and Managing Director CP Gurnani. Mr. Gurnani, thank you very much for speaking with us. So before I come to the IT services industry in general, what gadgets are you carrying today?
Interesting. So I think I was kind of prepared for your question. This is a Fitbit Surge.
Okay.
So essentially this is the
yeah.
latest one, which is in a way one of the best wearable devices.
Yeah.
And to me it is not only about what I'm carrying, but I can only tell you is that since I'm one of the biggest advocates of digital economy, I need to be I need to know what's happening in the latest.
Right.
I have two advantages. One is that A, I go off the shelf and buy them, and secondly, as you can see, I'm carrying a Samsung Note Edge today, and the two advantages one I have is that one we are selling services for the digital economy, and number two is many of these devices are actually either developed or tested or integrated into various other applications in one of my labs in the world.
Oh, wonderful. So what have you done with Fitbit?
I mean, I don't want to get into any client specific this thing, but I can only tell you that if you come to my labs in US, you would see a lot of futuristic.
So you're one of the few companies who wears their clients' products.
Right. I mean, I'll put it very differently. I'll put it very differently that I have an advantage of having a peep into what is going to come next.
Right.
I'm not saying it's everything that I wear is my client's product. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to deny myself a taste of competition if I don't go out and taste the product of other kitchens.
It's okay, great. So let me come to the sort of industry question. So how are things looking for the IT services industry broadly and for Tech Mahindra for the year ahead?
Good news and bad news, I mean, they always go together. Good news is that technology spending is higher. Good news is that need for networks, communications, better applications, better integration, better analytics is only increasing. Good news is that what we saw in 1999, 2000 in a different way, that a border will go out of a business and a Barnes and Noble will have to adopt to a tsunami being caused by an Amazon.
Right.
I mean, to Amazon to me was a digital challenger, and a border was a company which fought back. Right? Barnes and Noble was a company that fought back.
Yeah.
I think we are finding the same today. We are all at a very interesting cusp. Physical economies are adopting to digital economy, and reality is the word smart city, smart home, smart building, smart nations is only helping us in business. You obviously want to know what is the bad news. The bad news part is that cross-currency headwinds, particularly in Europe, particularly in Australia. I mean, they're not exactly working well for my shareholder. The second part is that the rate of change of technology is so high that I think somewhere it is holding back the decision making. Because what is right, or should I allow the things to settle down? When I go have the CXO conversations, it's almost like every day you have a new device. I mean, why should I buy a Fitbit Surge? I mean, there will be a new device 2 months later. Why should I buy a Note Edge or a iPhone 6 Plus? There will be a 7 tomorrow. Unfortunately, that is impacting some of the technology decisions. But overall, if I were to say yes, we are in the right business at the right time.
And it's interesting because you're saying that you're helping those who are fighting the incumbents as well as the incumbents to fight back to fight the fighters.
That is true.
Right? I mean, you're working with brick and mortar as well as the others. So tell us about the digital quotient. I mean, what does that mean to you? Because we're talking about shaping the digital future. I mean, and I think we all know what it means. But what does it mean to you, and what is the essence of it all?
So Govind, I mean, as you know, many of us have adopted social media, and Tech Mahindra as a company is running a survey And we're really asking the same question to others. I mean, what does digital quotient mean to you? How would you rate your digital quotient? I personally believe that if I was a Google or if I was Amazon, I would rate myself almost top in the digital quotient, because you know you made digital as your business. But if I was a State Bank of India, I would rate myself at 7, and which would surprise you.
Right.
The reason is that many of us don't realize it, that State Bank of India today runs one of the best digital bank, one of the best mobile banking in the country today. So every company has its own measurements. All I am trying to re-emphasize to you is that if you are not going to embrace digital economy, you will be dead, and you don't want to be the border, and you want to be a Barnes and Noble. I mean, that is what I am, almost, you can say I'm an evangelist, I'm a preacher, or you can say I'm an obsessed person, but that's what I do. Right. Talking to every client of mine, talking to every prospect of mine.
Right. So last question. So and it's interesting you mentioned State Bank of India and digital bank. You yourself are pitching for a piece of that space in the payment space more specifically, and you have a presence in the mobile space, banking space, or mobile payment space already. How is that representative of what the future is, particularly from your vantage point?
So Tech Mahindra will always be a digital enabler. Tech Mahindra will give you the platform for you to succeed in the digital economy. It doesn't matter whether you are a digital health, digital remote management, digital emergency services, digital diagnostic services, or a digital payment bank. In this particular case, I have gone ahead applying for the licenses because I eventually believe I will participate. I will, and it's part of my application where I've said that these are the candidates that I will participate with. So they are physical banks. All I'm trying to re-emphasize is that digital enablement is no longer in the back seat. I mean, in Nigeria, there was a condition where an existing bank and an existing telco could not participate in a digital banking license. So we own a digital banking license. We're going to roll out the service very, very soon. We always had a mobile wallet. We have a concept called mobile money.
Yeah.
So I think it's just an extension of our services, and clearly we want to be a player in the digital economy.
And it's also an exciting confluence for where an IT services company could go or potentially can go.
I do believe that it is IT service. It is digital. It is IT. So, and digital is not only IT plus, it is IT plus operations. So I guess it is going to be the interesting world where the boundaries between physical and digital will only keep coming down.
Right, Mr. Gurnani. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you, Govind.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.